Now at 5, the EPA wants to update a rule on lead service lines. It could force Kansas and Missouri to pull up hundreds of thousands of pipes. Plus, how Southeast Kansas Police Department is going above and beyond to help families in need this Christmas. And
the Supreme Court appears torn over a proposed bankruptcy settlement for Purdue Pharma. I'm Skyler Henry, detailing the case that would address some of the nation's opioid crisis, but protect the family who owns the company from future lawsuits.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A proposed rule by the Environmental Protection Agency could force Kansas and Missouri to remove hundreds of thousands of lead pipes within the next decade. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. The proposal would update the lead and copper rule, limiting the amount of lead in water by 1/3. Estimates vary widely on how many lead service pipes are still in the ground, but the EPA estimates more than 200,000 in Missouri, more than 54,000 in Kansas. The Natural Resources Defense Council says replacing lead service lines would avoid hundreds of billions of dollars in health expenses. The EPA is accepting public comment on the proposed rule with plans to finalize it by next October. Newton County, Missouri today honored its long-term employees. The county recognized 17 employees, each with at least 5 years of service. This is a state award from the Missouri Association of Counties. Officials say it's important to appreciate all the hard work of all county employees.
Appreciate our employees, every one of them, but every 5 years we do an appreciation deal for the people who've been here 5 years, 10 years, 15, and 20. Our longest one this time was 25 years. We had one of the officers, sergeants, whatever, from the Sheriff's Department that had been here 25 years.
That ceremony was held at the Newton County Courthouse in Neosho. The Neodesha Police Department doesn't just partner with KOAM's Toy Box to do that to help kids in the community each holiday season, but they also host a fundraiser that benefits a specific family in need. Although toys might be on the children's minds, Police Captain David Tomlinson says this donation is for other items.
We all need help every once in a while, whether it be during the holidays, whether it be cold weather. We got groups that do coat drives and everything else, and we just try to do our part where we can and when we can.
This is the 4th year that the Neodesha Police Department has raised money to benefit a local family. If you'd like to donate to our Toy Box campaign, well, you can do that through our website or by scanning the QR code right there on your screen. You can also tune in to our noon, 5, 6, and 9 o'clock newscast tomorrow and donate during our Toy Box Tuesday telethon. We're going to have volunteers standing by to take your donations over the phone. We invite you to give what you can to help every child have a Merry Christmas in our area. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, of course, a chilly day for us today. Temperatures mainly into lower 50s. We did get some upper 50s in our western counties, but dropping off now. A few clouds starting to roll in. 49 in Joplin, 47 is where we stand in Pittsburgh, 47 in Stockton, 49 Neosho, 53 at Grand Lake. Chanute is sitting at about 50 degrees. Now, a little breezy for us today. We've had those southerly winds at about 5 to 15, but these are going to pick up a bit as a cold front heads toward us later on tonight. And with it, you can see some clouds which are starting to rip in, even a few light little showers across northern parts of Kansas. So we can't rule out a random shower or even a couple sprinkles as we go through the overnight hours. We're going to slide back through the 40s. Cooling down a bit for us tomorrow. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you soon. Supreme Court justices seem conflicted about a bankruptcy plan for the maker of the OxyContin drug that played a significant role in fueling the opioid epidemic. The plan settled lawsuits against the maker of the drug, OxyContin, but it also protected the owners of the company by preventing people from suing them because addiction ruined their lives or those of loved ones. Skyler Henry has more details now from the Supreme Court.
They were responsible for creating the greatest epidemic that America has ever seen.
Alexis Plius, who lost her 28-year-old son Jeff to an opioid overdose, stood outside the Supreme Court, urging justices to reject a bankruptcy settlement which would protect the makers of OxyContin from facing civil lawsuits for their role in the opioid epidemic.
After I lost my son, I turned my life over to just trying to make sure that other people didn't go through this.
Richard Sackler and his family own Purdue Pharma. They agreed to pay up to $6 billion to settle lawsuits and compensate victims. In exchange, the Sacklers themselves would be protected from more lawsuits while still getting to keep billions more. Lawyers for Purdue Pharma say the money dedicated to fighting the opioid epidemic is on condition of the protections in the plan.
If the trustee succeeds here, the billions of dollars that the plan allocates for opioid abatement and compensation will evaporate. Creditors and victims will be left with nothing, and lives literally will be lost.
One of the questions the justices are weighing is whether the owners of Purdue Pharma can receive the same bankruptcy protections that their company received without having to seek personal bankruptcy as well.
Why should they get the discharge that usually goes to a bankrupt person once they've put all their assets on the table without having put all their assets on the table?
But other justices say there is nothing special about this case.
Bankruptcy courts for 30 years have been approving plans like this.
Despite the opposition protesting outside the court Monday, 95% of victims agreed to the bankruptcy plan.
Justices are expected to issue a ruling early this summer. Police in Los Angeles are holding a suspect in a series of murders that suggest a serial killer was targeting homeless people. 33-year-old Jared Powell is accused of shooting and killing 3 homeless men on consecutive days last week. He also allegedly shot and killed a 4th person during a robbery. Los Angeles police are now investigating to see if there are any other victims. Still ahead, keeping the holidays merry.
'Tis the season for stress. I'm Michael George with advice on how to take care of your mental health during the holidays.
Plus, what a new study involving twins shows about the benefits of a vegan diet. Those stories next in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, between family visiting, travel nightmares, and expensive gifts, the holidays can take a toll on your mental health. Michael George reports on a survey showing what stresses out the most during the holidays.
For many Americans, the start of the holidays means Santa, shopping, snow, and stress. Are there things that stress you out about the holidays?
Probably just seeing people that I haven't seen in over a year.
Traveling, doing any kind of traveling always stresses me out.
A mental health survey by the American Psychiatric Association finds nearly a third of Americans are more stressed out this year than last holiday season. And the top 3 sources of anxiety: affording gifts, finding gifts, and the cost of holiday meals.
I think the first thing people can do is acknowledge that it can be a stressful time for a lot of people.
Dr. Howard Liu says the holidays don't have to cause anxiety. He says instead of focusing on spending, focus on spending time with loved ones and lower expectations to make things easier on yourself.
Just making sure that we give ourselves some self-compassion. That's going to be okay. It's okay to turn down some of those invites if they don't give us joy. And it's okay for our household not to look perfect when people come over.
The holidays can trigger isolation, depression, and seasonal affective disorder. It's important to focus on your mental health and take some time to de-stress.
I like an Epsom salts bath. I like to hang out with my cat, listen to really good music, have a glass of wine.
A lot of walks in Central Park to decompress.
Yeah, that's true. We use the park a lot to decompress.
Giving yourself the gift of some personal time can go a long way towards keeping the holidays happy. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
You might find this surprising. Only a quarter of Americans said discussing politics with their families causes them stress.
Thirds of those surveyed say they'll...
A new survey at The Ohio State University finds many people will lose track of their healthy habits. 2/3 of those surveyed say they'll eat too much, while almost half will exercise less. Health experts suggest sticking to a normal routine as much as possible while giving yourself some grace on certain days. Most of us know we should eat more vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. And a new study highlights that fact with identical twins. The researchers at Stanford examined 22 sets of twins eating healthy food for 8 weeks. They assigned one group a vegan diet and the other food with animal products. Both groups saw improved health outcomes, with the vegans faring a bit better. Experts say the study doesn't mean people need to eliminate animal products, but it does reinforce the health benefits of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. That is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, some tips to save money at the grocery store this holiday season.
Plus, we have another cold front heading toward us tonight, so we're going to cool down a bit. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it turned out to be a chilly but a nice Monday for us today. Temperatures pretty good. Most of us low to mid 50s for highs. Of course, we're dropping back now. Here's a nice shot of our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri, but it looks pretty good as we go through the evening hours. All right, temperatures right now, most of us upper 40s to near 50. 46 in Monette. Lamar at 49, 53 at Grand Lake, Pittsburgh 47, 50 in Chanute. But just to our north and to our west, we have another fast-moving little cold front that is going to roll right on through, kind of like what we had last night when the winds really started to pick up across the region. Now, it's not like cold air behind it, but it is a little bit cooler, and it will drop our temperatures off just a bit as we go into Tuesday. 49 right now, visibility is good. We have southerly winds at about 5 to 15, so it's been a little breezy out there for us today, and those will actually pick up a little bit more as we go into tomorrow. Now, the winds will stay out of the south tonight, but once that front rolls through, we're going to start the day breezy northwesterly winds, gusts kind of in that 20 to 25 range. They'll calm down late in the day, and then late Wednesday, they start to pick up out of the other direction, out of the south. And what that will do for us is help our temperatures warm up nicely later on in the work week. All right, with this front, a few clouds working through. So we are going to have the clouds increasing as we go through the evening hours, but there's not much in the way of moisture with it. There is some light sprinkles, a few light little showers. So we can't rule out a couple little sprinkles trying to roll in for us later on tonight. Then we hit this ridge of high pressure. That ridge is going to warm us up ahead of that storm system, which will affect us late in the week and then into the weekend. All right, let's go through time for us tonight. Clouds increase. Here's 10:30 p.m. Some light little sprinkles, random light little shower. Clouds work through, little sprinkles work through. Here's 2 a.m. These are gone by 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. As we go through the morning hours, northwesterly winds. We do get some clouds in here. Cooler tomorrow. Mid 40s by noon. I think most of us will top out 48 to 50. Case in point, 48 in Carthage, 50 in Miami. Chanute up to about 49 degrees. Tomorrow night we clear out, colder, upper 20s. We get the southerly winds returning as we head into Wednesday afternoon. That helps our temperatures warm up. So highs 55 to 57 by the time we head into Wednesday. So cooler tomorrow and then start to warm back up as we go into Wednesday. Day planner on you Tuesday, 37 in the morning, 47 by noon. High temp right around 49 degrees. And as we go down the road, this nice big ridge of high pressure warming us up Wednesday and Thursday. But here comes our next storm system. So we're going into Friday, into Saturday, and this is a pretty strong system that will give us rain, maybe even some snow nearby. So we'll focus a little bit more on that tonight at 6. 49 tomorrow, 56 on Wednesday, 62 on Thursday. Showers work in Friday, a rain-snow mix on Saturday, and cooling back down just a bit. So kind of all over the place for us this week. Also, you don't want to forget on Wednesday night at 6 and 9, we'll do the winter-long forecast.
Yeah, I'll be watching for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe taking notes.
There you go.
Thanks, Doug. It's day 5 of the UN Climate Conference underway in Dubai. Over the weekend, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency announced a new rule aimed at sharply reducing methane emissions from existing oil and gas wells. It would also regulate small wells that are subject to an initial inspection but are rarely checked again for leaks. The EPA estimates the new rules will prevent the escape of an estimated 58 million tons of methane, a potent climate warming gas. Coming up, the importance of taking steps to be safe while decorating for the holidays. Topping today's Consumer Watch, with Christmas approaching, many families are trying to watch every dollar. And while inflation has been cooling somewhat, that's not true at the grocery store necessarily. Food prices are up 3.3% from this time last year. That's according to the latest government data. Prices for meat are especially high. But on CBS Mornings, Consumer Reports' Brian Vines said there are other ways to get protein in your diet.
So eggs are a great source of protein. It's complete, it's there. We love a bean, we love a legume. Meatless Mondays can happen any day of the week now. Like have breakfast for dinner.
Vines recommends using shopping apps that offer rebates to save money. And he says warehouse stores are good for people who are able to buy in bulk. Millions of families are decorating their homes with Christmas trees, holiday lights, and festive candles, but some of those decorations can lead to a disaster. Skylar Henry got a first-hand look at how quickly things can go wrong.
In this demonstration, the Christmas tree on the left has been watered regularly. The one on the right is dry. A hidden fire source underneath is used to try and light both. The watered tree never catches fire, but flames spread through the dry tree quickly and move to the ceiling. In just seconds, the room is engulfed in flames.
In an instant, you turn from a happy setting to your entire house is on fire.
Alexander Hohensarik is chair of the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission and says candles are also a potential hazard as seen in this demo. Candles cause thousands of fires every year, with December being the peak month. Faulty Christmas lights are also a fire hazard. Experts say make sure to avoid using cracked bulbs, check lights for frayed wires, and never overload electrical outlets.
We also see a lot of trips to the emergency room.
During the holiday season, the CPSC says there are about 160 Christmas decorating related injuries each day. More than 40% of those incidents involve falls. In 2021, Ken Wilson was putting up outdoor Christmas lights when he fell 11 feet onto the concrete and fractured 6 ribs.
We want people to actually get together, have fun, but to be safe.
Taking a few precautions like keeping a Christmas tree watered can help make sure your holiday home looks like this and not like this. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Rockville, Maryland.
It's a powerful reminder. Experts say when you buy a real Christmas tree, make sure it's not already dry. And if you're buying an artificial tree, make sure it's fire resistant. New consolidation in the airline industry. Alaska Air announced it's buying its Pacific rival Hawaiian Airlines for $1.9 billion. The combined company plans to keep the identities of both brands. Federal regulators still have to approve the deal, though they have resisted more airline consolidation out of worry it could lead to higher fees. Toy maker Mattel is honoring the late Cherokee leader Wilma Mankiller with a Barbie doll. Mankiller was the first female chief of a major Native American tribe, leading the Cherokee Nation from 1985 to 1995. The doll has gotten mixed reviews from Cherokee Nation citizens, including some who say the doll looks nothing like Mankiller and that written symbols on the box translates to chicken rather than the word Cherokee. Mattel did not consult with the Cherokee Nation on the doll. A final check of the forecast next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, how an effort to challenge voter registration could jeopardize the right to vote for eligible Americans. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to have more on how the Neodesha, Kansas Police Department is making a difference in its community. Plus, authorities in McDonald County investigate the burglary of a gun store. And NEO basketball looks to continue its hot streak to the season, taking on Arkansas Tech. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Not bad weather out there, Doug.
No, it's a pretty nice evening. We're going to be dropping back through the 40s into the lower 30s later on tonight. We may get a couple sprinkles or a quick shower late this evening, and then partly sunny skies tomorrow. Cooler, but not bad. 49 back to 56. Wednesday, rain and snow chances. Moving in just in time for the weekend.
Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. See you then. Let's make it a great evening.